Hello, friends, both old and new. I am John St. Baptiste, and this is Music Makes the People Come Together, where we share amazing and eclectic music with amazing and eclectic people, much like yourselves, I hope. This week, I posted the theme this morning. If you watch the teaser, there is a note about that, which we will get to in a little while, but I want to dive right into the playlist because this is some important stuff. So I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. I had to stretch definitions quite a little bit to make it happen, but the theme for this week is the 7 deadly sins. We're going to start off with gluttony. Theme track for this week is I Want It All, done originally by Queen. This is a performance done by Queen with Roger Daltrey from The Who and Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, who I didn't realize plays guitar left-handed, which I also play guitar left-handed. I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, I Want It All. This is one of those things that's a bit of a stretch because the rest of the song really isn't about that, but I thought it was a great way to start it off and throw it in and use for my teaser video. Teaser videos, at least currently, are always released on Sunday morning. That might change, and it all depends on you. We'll talk about that in a moment. Actually, probably a few moments, because I tend to be somewhat long-winded at times. So, this was done at the Concert for Life, which was an AIDS awareness and research concert that all the proceeds went to that. It was done just after Freddie Mercury left us, and the remaining members of Queen played with a number of different artists. Elton John, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, I mean, the list goes on and on. The band, I think the band. No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of The Wall Live from Berlin. But they played with a number of artists, and this is absolutely amazing. So I really hope you enjoy that. We're going to just stretch this out, and that is my gluttony song because I want it all. Like I said, bit of a stretch on the interpretation of lyrics. Actually, a huge stretch on the interpretation of the lyrics, but I hope you enjoy the concept. Moving on, next sin, next list. We are talking about avarice. And we are talking about the Better to Be Happy track for this week. Better to Be Happy is all about a happy hardcore. Actually, this week, what we are doing is listening to a gabber track. Gabber is also a subgenre of hardcore music, if you're not quite familiar. It's a little harder, somewhat darker, but it stems from the same trunk, the same branch of the electronic music tree. So I really hope you dig that. It's called Money in My Pocket. It's done by 3 Steps Ahead. This 3 Steps Ahead was Peter Paul Pigments. He was an artist who totally influenced the gabber music genre. Actually, he passed away. It's oh my god, I keep talking about dead people. I don't see dead people, but I listen to them a lot. He had brain cancer and passed away, I believe, back in 2003. This is about Money in My Pocket. It's great, and it's a song that's entirely representative of avarice, so I really hope you enjoy it, and love how it ties into the theme. He originated and started a huge festival over in mainland Europe, which some of my followers are from. called Thunderdome, which, if you follow me, you know that title is originally from track by the Messiah, who made House Harder. And even before that, it's a title from a Mad Max movie with Mel Gibson of racist diatribe fame, who's also an amazing actor, but seriously, don't get pulled over drunk and say nasty things to a cop. Especially about their race, which is not the best idea you could do. But anyway, yes, money in my pocket. This is a fun. Oh, there's my one fun. I only get one fun per video if I can try and make it happen. This is a really great track. So I hope you enjoy that. Following that, we have Wrath. And we have Fracking Opera. And the fracking opera for this week is Attila, which was one of Verdi's earliest operas, Giuseppe Verdi. The libretto is done by, and if I pronounce this incorrectly, please correct me, because my Italian is not so great. But Temascali Saleri, and of course, Francis Marimpave. So, this is about particularly Ottobella, who was Attila's wife and killed him. And we're talking about Attila the freaking Hun, who was a pretty bad dude. If you know anything about Roman history, this guy kind of made it end. Or at least significantly contributed to it. This opera is absolutely amazing. Some people aren't a huge fan of it. It's one of Verdi's earlier works, so it's not quite as honed and developed, but I think it's great. And we have Ottobella, and you have to know, if you know anything about the story about Attila, hell, like the bard said, hath no fury like a woman scorned. And we've got some serious wrath going on here. So that's the wrath track. Also the fracking opera track. Now for envy, I had to kind of make a stretch. So I decided to go in the exact opposite direction and put up for the full list an album that is the exact opposite of envy. This is I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got by my precious love, Sinead O'Connor. This was her second album. It came out in 1990. Absolutely phenomenal album. She does a cover of the song Nothing Compares to You by Prince. No question about it. As much as I love Prince, I honestly love this cover significantly more. It's so amazing. And if you've ever seen the video, there is a moment when she breaks into tears. Now, according to legend, that really happened. She did that video in one take, and she actually broke into tears singing that part. This album is great. Plus, there is a traditional song. Any of my followers who are over in Ireland are familiar with this track, Stretched on Your Grave. It's a heart-wrenching track about someone who lost their lover, and she does an unbelievable cover of it with this sweet hip-hop beat in the background, yet it still has all the traditional Irish pipes and strings, and this is just great. I'm so excited to share this album with everybody. So that's Envy. Next, we have Vanity. Oh, Vanity. This is what made Lucifer fall. I'm not talking about Lucifer means Lightbringer for all of you Game of Thrones followers. I'm talking about Lucifer, the biblical figure, particularly if you've ever read Paradise Lost, one of my favorite books of all time. My original plan was to become a professor and eventually have so much tenure that I just could show up blasted twice a week and talk about Milton for 3 hours. So near and dear to my heart. But vanity. So the track is for the Covers That Kick Ass playlist. Bananarama doing No Feelings by the Sex Pistols. This is sweet AF. Oh my gosh. I had never heard this track before until I started researching for this playlist, and I thought it was so great. Plus, what's really cool is that this ties into the trivia question for this week. Also, it's the Sex Pistols. I mean, these are some of the parents of punk rock music. Now, I will be the first person to admit for every punk band I like, there are 10 that I don't. But I do love me some Sex Pistols. And this is amazing and it's fun. And it's done almost like a early 1960s pop song. I'm not going to go beyond that. Just listen to it. It's great. Next sin we have is Lust, which everybody likes, everybody gets, and everybody has. So for the Whose House? John's House track this week, we have the Lords of Acid doing the song Crab Louse, and it is Ludo's Coming Even Harder mix, which is my favorite mix of this track and happens to be one of my favorite tracks by the Lords of Acid. If I remember correctly, this was the last album Jade For You was on, and this mix is just sick. It's awesome, and I really hope you enjoy it. The build-up and the beat and everything are just so tight and sweet, and I really hope you dig it. Hard AF to find if you couldn't get a copy of the single back in the day when it was on CD, or if you're one of those rare, fortunate people who has a copy on vinyl. Won't tell you who does, but I know this guy. So, we have one sin left, and that is sloth. And I seriously considered just not putting in a sloth track. Just to be slothful. I thought it might be funny, but I remembered something that I found years ago that is cool AF. This is Reliant K, who are a punk band from right up the road in Canton, Ohio, 3 hours away from me, doing a song from VeggieTales. If anybody's familiar, VeggieTales is a heavily Christian-influenced children's show. And the song is The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. What makes this video even more exciting is that it is an AMV. For those of you who are not familiar, an AMV is an anime music video where somebody takes and goes through all this trouble and work to match up to the second, if they're really good, footage from an animated video, and particularly an anime video, and a song. And this is one of the most well done, and it's the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. We just stay at home and lie around. This is a great song. It is so exciting and enjoyable to end the mix with this, because every time I see this, it brings a smile to my face, and I really hope it brings a smile to all of your faces. Speaking of bringing a smile to all your faces, I share music with you. Please share music back with me. and share music with each other. That's what this site is all about. That's what this channel is all about, is sharing music with each other. I told you in the teaser, I broke down and listened to another creator, and I have a Twitter channel up and going now. I'm going to try to put it in the description down the box, but as we've covered before, I am a bit of a Luddite, so it might take a bit before I can make that happen. But I would like for you to be able to follow me and maybe even there share some music and share some thoughts about videos and things like that. Other news in the channel. Let's see. Opera season here in Cincinnati is about to end. That will be in 2 weeks. So I have decided we have 2 weeks of opera left. And when that is over, there will be another 6-week playlist, which the opera list has been significantly more than that, but hey. So for 6 weeks, I will be uploading 2 tracks of a certain genre of music that I would like to share with you. I have already decided on the first one. The suggestion was made to me quite early on in the initiation of my channel. So that is going to be the list for the first 6-week period. Don't worry if you love opera as much as I do. Once we get close to opera season next year, we'll be doing more operas again. I'll probably just upload 1 instead of 2 because that's like 5 hours of your life. But I'm excited about this new list. I would love if you would all vote in the section down below about, after the coming playlist, what genre of music you would like to hear a playlist of. And please don't make it what I already play. Yes, I know I come up with some amazing house music, some amazing happy hardcore, etc. But come up with something that I don't currently do so that it can be an exciting list all its own. It'll be 12 tracks, 2 a week. Boom. So, trivia for last week was asking, outside of Joy Division, The Cure, and Gene Loves Jezebel, who were some of the founding parents of Gothic music. Mandolin 523 gave a great answer, but I think some of them were a bit of stretches and some of them were a bit anachronistic. So don't worry, she got her smooch. But the real smooch for the week goes to Amy True, who came up with Bauhaus, Susie and the Banshees, and oh my gosh, I can't remember the other one. And I should know. I should have written this down, but I'm 18 minutes into this and I'm not going to record it again. So Amy came up with 3, and they were all accurate. They were all, yes, very good founding parents of Gothic music. And Amy, 3 smooches for 3 answers. Thank you. So, this week's trivia question is, the cover that kicks ass for this week was by Bananarama, and the 2 of the women from that band were in relatively dire straits. They were actually living in a YWCA, and one of the bands that they covered in this track tonight was the Sex Pistols. One of the members of the Sex Pistols was kind enough to put them up until they found a place of their own, and especially once their music started taking off. Who was this person? If you can answer this question, I will give you the smooch for the week. Also, as I said in the teaser, I am thinking of starting to release the teaser on Thursday or Friday night as opposed to Sunday morning, so that you have a few days to think about, oh, hey, what's the theme for this week? What's this all about? I really like the idea, but I want to see what you have to say as my community. So please let me know. We've hit 60 subscribers. Thank you all so much. Thank you all who subscribe. Thank you new people who check this out. Thank you totally new people who check this out and then subscribe. like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, please. Google, can't listen the first time. Gotta tell it twice. Google, YouTube, it's the same bloody thing, right? So, last thing I have to do, anyone who mentions me on their page and my channel, I do the same exact thing for them. So thank you, Azora Hype, In Deep Geek, AU Pack Mule, Lauren's Corner, and Raw Wrist, because all of you have brought people to my channel who would not normally be here. Thank you so much. I would like to thank all of you once again for coming here and checking out what I have to share this week. In the meantime, until next week, when I release my new playlist, which is already in the works, please, kindly, PLUR, be excellent to one another, and party on.